What's good?
I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals.
This was the go home show to Rebellion, so we are going to do predictions for Rebellion. And we're going to talk about the ratings. So the ratings for last week's show, which was April the 2nd, are in, and they weren't good. TNA only drew in 200K even with a 0.04 to 0.05 in the 18 to 49 demographic. That's fine on the demo part, but the overall viewership, that's very poor. I didn't think that they would lose 56K viewers, but it happens. But it is what it is, because last week, well, the previous week before that, on the March 26th episode of TNA Impact, they drew exactly 256K, which is fine. So, I mean, it happens. I think the ratings are going to be up and down, up and down. Hopefully, next week, they should do well again, because it'll be Rebellion, because it'll be the Rebellion home show and then the Rebellion pay-per-view. So hopefully the ratings can increase next week. Hopefully they'll get more viewers. But it is what it is. Again, it's still better than anything on Access TV that they ever did, basically, when they were there. So AMC, again, has been a godsend for TNA, and it's helped them out tremendously. So there is that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the show. So we kicked the show off with the contract signing between Eddie Edwards and Mike Santana for the TNA World Championship. So Daria Ray and Santana Marella, they were in the ring. So Eddie Edwards came out first, then Mike Santana. So Eddie gets on the mic and said that when TNA needed someone to stand up for them, Mike Santana left. But Eddie Edwards stayed and fought for TNA, and he vowed to win the title again. Then he signed the contract. Mike Santana said that he left so that he could go out and test himself against the best in the world. Talking about basically AEW, which is fine. Then he realized that his heart was in TNA. He said that Eddie stayed in TNA because he was complacent, which is true. And again, Eddie had nowhere to go. No other promotion was going to take Eddie outside of TNA, except for maybe like NWA, maybe GCW at the time, maybe Ring of Honor when it was still around. I know they're going to give him a tryout for NXT. This is maybe back in, 2017 or 2018, something like that maybe. Back then when he was in shape. So Mike Santana talked about turning down money and opportunities because he wanted to be the face and the champion of TNA. Mike Santana said he'll see Eddie at the pay-per-view, and then he signed a contract. So Eddie talked more trash about Mike Santana's daughter, which was a sore spot. So Mike Santana said that he's going to beat Eddie Edwards' ass if he mentions his daughter again. So Mike Santana, he retorted by saying that Eddie's wife has more balls, had more balls than Eddie. And then Cedric Alexander, he showed up, he jumped Mike Santana from behind. Leon Sutter came out to make the save. And then Eddie Edwards and Cedric, they had a little fight with Mike Santana and Leon Slater. So Leon Slater took out both Eddie Edwards and Cedric Alexander, and then he stood tall with Mike Santana. Mike Santana flipped the table over, and that was it. So it is what it is. I mean, this is fine, I guess. This sucks that this is going to be the main event. It really does suck. TNA, man, they need some help. They need some talent. it sucks that this is going to be the main event of the show. It sucks. For this to be the main event of Rebellion, that's not a good look. But again, it is what it is. That's the problem with TNA. They need talent. I mean, we all can see it. Everyone needs, TNA needs talent like crazy. Moving on, this leads us into AJ Francis. He was backstage. He talked about enrolling in the 3D Wrestling Academy when he got a call from his agent saying that the Cleveland Browns wanted him. He turned them down and said that he would never play for them. He said that Nick Namath still opportunities from him. So he took something from Nick Namath, and he vowed to beat Nick Namath in his hometown of Cleveland at Rebellion. Okay, I still don't understand why this is happening. It makes no sense. It is what it is, though. Who gives a damn? Moving on, this leads us into the first match of the night. Dani Luna, she's back, versus Jada Stone. So Jada Stone defeated Dani Luna. Dr. Steels was on commentary. The match was pretty decent. Dani Luna ended up doing a pretty cool little powerbomb on the outside and got a 2 count when she threw Jada back into the ring. And then Jada Stone got the win via a twisting moonsault for the 1-2-3. Post-match, Tasha Steelz attacked Jada Stone from behind, and she gave her a power driver. So this is fine, I guess. It is what it is. Maybe this was her last showing, maybe. She probably is done with TNA, that being Dani Luna. So, don't really know. But we have to wait and see. I'm hoping, if I was Dani Luna, I would go to NXT. That women's division is about to open up. There's about to be some slots available. You got main roster call-ups, which is going to happen post-Mania. And then you got releases coming. So if I was Dani Luna, I would really jump on that. Instead of her just trying to get the bag and go to AEW and not really do anything except for just be on Collision or worse, be on Ring of Honor. And again, I'm not taking shots at AEW, but I mean, it's the truth. It's really the truth. Tony Khan has a lot of disgruntled wrestlers that are on that roster, and they're not doing much of anything. They're really not. So, I don't know. But, it is what it is. Moving on, this leads us into Elijah. So, he walked through a cemetery in New Orleans. So, a kid approached him and asked Elijah to pray for him at a gravesite. And then Frankie attacked Elijah from behind. Frankie gave the kid $20, promising him that it was going to be $100. And then he called the kid a loser and said that people lie. And then Frankie ended up quoting scripture to Elijah, and then that was it. Again, I'm not a fan of this Elijah feud. I'm just not. Why are we having Frankie Kazarian and Elijah feud? It makes no sense. Frankie Kazarian is a mid-card, low-level heel. Elijah should be higher on the card, really, if we're being honest. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Again, that's the problem with TNA. They're still using, dinosaurs like Frankie Kazarian and Eddie Edwards and Moose and Brian Myers and all these other guys, Eric Young. The same cast of characters. Please make those guys producers, please. Move them along. Damn. Moving on. This leads us into Taryn Terrell. She was out next. She said that she missed the fans. She thanked the fans and her family. She said that she regretted not ending her career on her terms. So the Youngest friends showed up and they insulted Taryn. They said that Ash was on hiatus because of people like Taryn Terrell. The personal concierge, George Iceman, noted that Taryn was alone. And he told the production truck to show what happened to her friends. So Mickey James and BDE, ODB were laid out backstage, which is crazy, but it is what it is. So then the Elegance brand, they jumped Terry and Terrell, they beat her up and everything. So it is what it is. And then the personal concierge says at Rebellion, they're going to bury the past. So this is going to be a 6 knockout tag, which should be fun. Interesting. I like that. Which I figured that's what they're going to do anyway all along. So that's fine. Moving on. This leads us into Santino Marella. He exchanged words with Stax and Ariana Grace in the hallway. And then Stax hit Santino, and then Santino hit him back. And then Stax and Ariana, they fled to the women's locker room. And then Santino and Indy Hartwell, they went after him. The door closed. We heard a scuffle. And Santino and Indy, they came out. Indy gave Santino the Cobra. Whatever, who cares? I don't know if I really give a damn about this Stax and Santino Marella feud. It's a little bit too comedic for me. It is what it is. I don't give a damn at this point. Moving on. Frankie Kazarian defeated BDE. Don't care. So he ends up making BDE tap out with the chicken wing. And then post-match, Ryan Nemeth attacked BDE. The lights went out, and Elijah showed up, and then he chased off Frankie Kazarian and Ryan Nemeth. I don't care about this at all. So, whatever. Who cares? Moving on. Atlanta Black, a.k.a. Cora Jade, defeated Myla Grace. So, there is that. She wins via the blackout, which is, cool. I like that name. I hope that Atlanta Black re-signs with TNA. I know she's going to do it for a year, but she should do it for longer. I don't know why she's just in TNA for a year. To me, that's dumb. I mean, you only work about basically, once a month. You do a couple live shows here and there, and you do a pay-per-view once per month. I mean, come on. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, you can still do OnlyFans and TNA. I mean, you can do both. I mean, it's not hard. Trust and believe it. It's not hard, especially if you're working in TNA or on the indies in general. It's not hard to do pro wrestling and OnlyFans. Like, come on. But it is what it is. Just joking, though, with all that, though. But I really do hope that Atlanta Black does end up re-signing with TNA. Because it's hard to believe she's already been there for 4 months. That's insane. She's already been there 4 months. What do you do with Atlanta Black going forward? I don't know. I mean, I know they want to position her to go after the Knockouts title, which is fine. But do you really want Mara Sade to be fed to Atlanta Black, even though Atlanta Black's going to be there just for a year? I don't know. Because, again, I want both of them to be champion, right? Because I'm a fan of both. I'm a fan of Mara Sade, even when she was Jakara Jackson in NXT. Both women have greatly improved, in my opinion. So, I don't know, but I really do hope that as we get closer to the end of the year, Atlanta Black does re-sign with TNA. Because I don't think WWE wants her back, and I don't think that AEW is going to really give her the time of day at all, really. I mean, again, but because she's injury prone, right? So TNA would be the best bet for her. But I don't know. We have to wait and see how things play out for her. Moving on. This leads us into Daria Ray. She told Santino that she just received word that Santino was suspended. So Indy Hartwell interrupted, and she touched Daria Ray. Daria Ray said that it was an assault when it really wasn't. Daria said that Indy was also suspended indefinitely, and she ordered him out. And so there's that. So I like this. TNA finally has a heel GM permanently because Santana Marella is suspended indefinitely. Same thing with Indy Hartwell. Clearly, they'll come back. Clearly, this is going to set up for a match, probably at, I'd say, I was going to say Summerversary, but Summerversary is in July. What's TNA's next pay-per-view after Rebellion? I'm not really sure. They'll mention it during the show when their next pay-per-view is. So maybe they're going to do the Santana Marella Stacks match there. If Santino wins, he's reinstated as GM. If he loses, he's no longer GM or whatever, and the power goes to Daria Ray. Maybe that's what they will do. And I've suggested that from the start anyway, with this whole Stacks and Santino Ariana Grace feud. I've been said that for a while, so they should go that route, hopefully. Because Daria Ray's just there for really, she only signed a 6-month deal, so she's there till basically Summerversary. So she's not there. She only has 2 months left, basically. Well, about 2.5 months, and then she's done. So hopefully, I'm hoping by like June, she can sit down with TNA and come up with something and re-sign with TNA. Because I think that's the best role for Daria, is for her to be in the GM management position. I think that would be great for her. There's no point for her to go to AEW. AEW to do what? Daria is 99.9% character, and she can wrestle, she can go, but I don't think she wants to be wrestling, every single week or whatever on AEW, having like 15, 20 minute matches on Collision or Dynamite or whatever. Like, no. So hopefully Daria resigns with TNA at some point, which she probably will. She probably just wanted to test the waters and see how it is. So she probably end up resigning. Moving on. This leads us into Ricky Sosa. He was on the show. He was interviewed by Gia Miller. So the fans tended to his song. So Gia welcomed Sosa to TNA Wrestling. Sosa said that he wanted to show the fans what he was all about. So Eric Young, sorry I showed up. He interrupted. He called Sosa a pretender and a wannabe. Eric Young said that that he was real and he's the gatekeeper. I don't care about this. So Sosa said he never disrespected Eric. So Eric Young grabbed the mic and they exchanged some words. Sosa said they could settle it in the ring. So Eric then hit Sosa. He attacked him. And then Sosa beat him up a little bit briefly in the ring. Then Eric Young attacked him from behind, and he ended up laying him out with a pile driver. So it is what it is. So apparently they're probably going to do a match at Rebellion. Ricky Sosa versus Eric Young. What the fuck? Can we please get rid of Eric Young, please? All right, moving on. This leads us into the Undead Realm segment. This is pretty interesting. So, Sinister Minister's back. That being, what's his name? Shit, I can't remember his name. But he's back, which is great. So he welcomed Tessa Blanchard to the Undead Realm. He cackled. She went to another room. Rosemary talked with Mara Shade and warned her to be careful. Rosemary said that they're collecting sins and that they needed her help. So Ali introduced herself to Mara. Ali said that she was dead and she was kind of sick of it. Talking about, I guess, her time in AEW, because she did leave TNA for a while. Went to AEW for good. I think she was with AEW since maybe 2020. So she's been gone for a while. Yeah, she's been gone for a good bit. So Mila Moore, she walked down the hallway cautiously. So Mara, Sade, and Ali, they ventured out on their own. Victoria Crawford roamed the hallway. Mila continued to walk and heard Rosemary's voice. So Sinister Minister, he sang. He did a really good job. He asked Rosemary what she was up to. She said that she was looking for the 7 deadly sins. Abyss showed up and told Minister, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." And then that was it. So that's cool. I like that. Good stuff there. This is interesting. Again, this is a playoff of the 7 deadly sins. You know, greed, pride, envy. So, gluttony. So, this is interesting. I like it. But where is this all going, though? Like, where is this all going? Right? But, whatever. Moving on, this leads us into the Order 4. They were out next with Mustafa Ali. So, Mustafa Ali, he called out Trey Miguel. He apologized to Trey Miguel after what happened to Jada Stone, which he really didn't mean it. Ali said he had a problem with the culture in TNA. He's sick of second chance champions like Mike Santana and Trey Miguel. He called them both screw-ups. Mustafa Ali said he wasn't a champion because he didn't need a second chance and he didn't have a shady past. Ali said that he was too good for TNA. So Trey grabbed the mic. He called Ali a scumbag and a coward. Trey said that he did need a second chance, just like the fans here. Trey said that maybe TNA welcome back with open arms because he treats him like family. Ali knows that the Rascals aren't here anymore. Trey said that they're still his brothers for life. Trey said he does have the title, but Ali has nothing. So Ali then ordered the Order 4 to leave the ring. He told him not to get involved. Then him and Trey came to blows briefly. And then Order 4 got involved. So Agent Zero beat up Trey Miguel. But Moose and Alicia Edwards, they came out to make the save, basically. Moose speared Mustafa Ali. And then Trey Miguel went to do a splash on Mustafa Ali, and then Order 4 made the save for Ali. All right, whatever. This is fine, but this should be a very, very fun match. This is a really good match that I'm looking forward to. It could be match of the night. Main event of the evening, the Hardys, they defeated the Righteous in a tables match for the TNA Tag Team Championships. Matt Hardy got eliminated, and so did Dutch. So it is what it is. It kind of happened simultaneously. I really wasn't paying attention watching this. Didn't really care too much about it. And then post-match, the Righteous, they attacked the Hardys after the match, and then that was it. I don't know why they continue with this lame feud. This is a shitty feud. I don't care about the Righteous. All right, let's get into predictions for Rebellion. So Rebellion takes place on Saturday, April 11th, live from Cleveland, Ohio. The venue is going to be the Wolfstein venue. It's actually called the Goodman Arena. So they can fit 8,500 for certain sporting events. TNA won't get that many people out, obviously. They probably booked out the venue for about maybe 2,000 to 2,500 people. And hopefully they can get that much out. Hopefully. Because the card's kind of okay. It's not the best card, again, because the TNA roster is extremely weak. But it's an okay card. All right. So we've got 10 matches. So that means we'll probably have 2 matches on the pre-show and 8 matches on the main card. All right, let's get into the pre-show matches. BDE versus Brian Nemeth. BDE is going to win. That'll more than likely be on the pre-show, and that's a rematch from Sacrifice. So who really cares? Moving on. Frankie Kazarian versus Elijah. This should definitely be a pre-show match, more than likely, but it'll probably make the main card. Elijah needs to win this. I had no idea what they're feuding over at all, if we're being honest. Moving on. Nick Nemeth versus AJ Francis. That could be the pre-show match, maybe. I'm going to go with Nick Nemeth winning. Moving on from that. Trey Miguel versus Mustafa Ali for the TNA International Championship. I'm going to go with Trey Miguel winning. It makes sense. Moving on. Moose versus Special Agent Zero. Moose is going to win that one more than likely. The Hardyz, Matt and Jeff Hardy versus The System, Bear Bronson and Brian Myers for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. The Hardyz, why would they lose? Moving on. Ariana Grace versus Xia Li. Lei Ying Li for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. I'm going to go with Ariana Grace retaining. Moving on from that, 6-woman hardcore country tag team match, the Elegance brand. Ash, Heather, and M by Elegance versus ODB, Taryn Terrell, and Mickey James. I'm going to go with the babyfaces winning. Why would they lose? Leon Slater versus Cedric Alexander for the X Division Championship. I'm going to go with Leon Slater winning. And then the main event of the evening, Eddie Edwards versus Mike Santana for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to go with Mike Santana. So those are my predictions, basically. I'm hoping we get some surprises because TNA needs something to happen on this show because Rebellion is one of their biggest shows. So we should get some people to show up. Maybe EC3 shows up in the main event or whatever. Maybe Steve Macklin makes a return. I know that he's been out for a little bit ever since he ate a nasty kick from Mike Santana back at Sacrifice. So maybe he'll show up. Maybe, don't know. But this is an okay match card. It seems like the only 2 matches I'm really interested in are going to be Trey Miguel, Mustafa Ali, and Cedric Alexander and Leon Slater. Everything else I really don't really care too much about. So there's that. Like I said before, hopefully we get some surprises, hopefully. But what did you guys think of TNA Impact? And what are your predictions for Rebellion? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.